in the water.
It's a glorious morning here in paradise. It's January still. I still can't believe it. But anyway, it's January, so I've got my surf clogs on.
Yeah, that's the only difference between going to Portugal. In Portugal, it's sunny on Christmas. In winter, it'll be boiling in summer.
It's going to be hot in the summer, but right now this is amazing. Like all that, like last year was horrific. Cycling, like what do I used to cycle 7 miles, 6 miles across Southampton to the Hamble in the freezing cold, and like my fingers were like covered off. And then working with acetone outside in minus temperatures, and the acetone evaporates off your fingers, and it's like ah!
Well, we're doing this called the science experiment, Newton's first law, and we hit this this book out the way, and the egg should fall straight into the cup because of Newton's first law, it doesn't just fly away. So let's find out. Like and subscribe, guys. Will it work? Oh, oops. Yeah! Yeah! That is Newton's first law in action. You see, as we are not applying a direct force to the egg stays at a constant speed. As before the action, it was at a speed of 0 meters per second. Now it's also at a speed of 0 meters per second, standing still. Then, once the cup and toilet roll are out of the way, gravity takes over and pulls the egg down into the water.
So we met Rob back in Southampton, and look at us, we're all here in Portugal. Absolutely.
Rob did Biscay 3 days at sea all by himself, single-handing. Came across, fantastic. Didn't see any orcas, didn't see Solis dolphins, but that's amazing. Like very impressive. And yeah, here we all are in sunny Portugal. It's January, it's 23 degrees today.
We all said we would do it, and here we all are. One of the reasons for coming to Portimao is that we knew there were other sailing families here. This is Ben and his family, who we spent a lot of time with as we all got on really well. They invited us on a trip to the mountains. Monchique. This is where they go to get their drinking water, and we thought we would do the same.
Wow!
Cool. Did you say you got 2?
No.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I got 2.
So new! Epic!
These bottles have come all the way from Inglaterra. Inglaise. Anyway, whatever you call it. They're still going strong. From Tesco, back in wherever it was, Southampton.
It was absolutely delicious. Ben and Samthura spent a lot of time here in the summer to escape the heat of the sun. They then drove us to another of their favourite places. There was such a magnificent view. We could see where we had sailed from and where we'd be sailing to next.
Oh, Kelvin, check this out. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's a fairly old model, but it's a good one. Look at this. Oh.
Our friend Kelvin used to work for Orange as a mobile phone mast engineer.
Lovely. Look at that. Ooh. Great satellites at the top.
Kelvin would know, he's been up those, and he'd go, oh yeah, that's the old D6 model. They're still making those, didn't know they were doing that still. What do you reckon? Used to climb up that ladder.
I think there'd be a bit more health and safety if this was the UK. We were pondering over this statue when a passing local told us that this was part of a famous cycle route, and the guy in the statue was one of the past winners.
Look, you are beautiful. Well, aren't you? Very nice dog.
Yeah, he probably lives up here and sees all the tourists. Yeah, hello. They wanted to take him home, but as with last week's cat, I said no. And besides, it did have an owner because it said so on the collar. We're going to the circus. Another invitation from Ben and his family.
Now this trick is impressive because as you add a skateboard, the object's central mass gets higher and higher, and the higher is the on-object's central mass, the more unstable it becomes, meaning the harder it is to keep balanced.
This looks impressive, and it was. However, the footage I now show you is the sum of all of the impressive stuff. The rest of the 2-hour show was packed out by an unenthusiastic 7-year-old clown with his over-enthusiastic clown elders. I was pretty relieved when the lights went up, only to discover that it was only half-time. Ugh. Anyway, as we said when we were eventually free to go, it was a lovely idea.
Add the hoover in a mixer. Add the water, a little bit at a time.
Using pipettes.
We're
making oblek. It's like a solid and a liquid.
Non-toner or something?
Just the other night, I spent so long cleaning the floor. I was so delighted. It was gorgeous. And I forgot to get a photo of it because since then, it's only been a couple of days. You right there, little wood elf? Anyway, Eric, look at this cool stack of Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah.
That is incredible. So tell us about them, Eric.
So, this one I got a long time ago in my 5x5. I have absolutely no clue where I got this one from. So this is called the Megaminx. It's a dodecahedron version of the 3x3.
Yeah.
This is the Gigaminx, dodecahedron version of the 5x5. This one, which I got for Christmas, it's called the Terraminx, and it's a 7x7. And I've never even solved a regular 7x7. It took me ages.
But you just sold it, didn't you?
Yep.
So it's about 20 days since Christmas, something like that, 20, a bit longer. This thing's insane.
Back on.
What is?
So how you even got close to solving it, I don't get how that happened.
I didn't get close, I solved it.
Oh look, at least that one's jumbled. Oh no, it's not, you've done a pattern. You've just drawn a pattern instead.
I did the pattern on this one and it looked excellent, but I undid it.
Okay.
It looked brilliant though.
Here we are a couple of weeks later and I'm now updating you on my big office improvement reveal, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's better. It's been huge better. So I've now been teaching in here last 2-3 weeks since I did a last update in here, and it's all right. It's working okay. One, I've adapted the door for a 3rd time. So the door is now actually just a door, like, you know, one of those doors that shuts, and I've put a lock on it right down here. It's all a bit of a bodge, but it's okay. Let's get some lights on in here. So we've got a bit more lights. So when I'm teaching, I put on a few lights, and yeah, I've got a office set up here with a pull-out drawer with all my stuff on it. There's a big cutout in the drawer to get around the steering steering wires, and then yeah, the chart table used to be there, seat used to be there, and now that's just one big sofa. So it's all a bit of a like a mock-up model, but it is working. It's far more comfortable. I've now got over 20 students, so I'm sitting here quite a lot of the week, plus I'm doing recording, Kelly's doing recording, we've got other sessions, bits and pieces, so actually spending a huge amount of time sat in here. It does mean we've got the corridor for the through flow, but with this door shut as well, I'm now in my own little private booth room for teaching, and again, Kelly does the same thing when she comes and does recording. So that's pretty cool. So now it's just a case of trying to make it better. I've got to sort out the desk so it doesn't just swing open when we're sailing, because it will do. All the stuff on top there, like my monitor and my computer and stuff, needs to be secured. This sofa is currently just a piece of wood balanced, and then a load of cushions on top of it, and it's been really comfy, and I've been sat here for about 3 weeks, several hours. But I need to actually improve that and turn it into a proper sofa. But like, as a premise, it's wicked. It's really cool because now we're in a situation where we have a big lovely family boat, but we also have a good office. We've got Starlink with amazing internet connection, got a good quality workspace. I mean, I could sit here and do a 40-hour week. I mean, by the time I was doing 40 hours, I might like be going, oh, I wish I had a kneeling chair, or I wish I had one of those fancy pneumatic desks that's changed height just to stretch the back out. But reality is I could do a 40-hour week here, and actually last week I did. Between recording and stuff, I did easily spent 40 hours at this desk, which is a really big like selling point for a boat, right? Because that's what, like, this used to be a chart table space. All my chart work is digital now. I have got charts. This table's big enough to put charts on if I need to, but actually what modern cruisers want is a place where mum and dad can go and do an actual day at the office inside their boat, and then they can be nomadic digital nomads. Is that the one? And we achieved it, which is amazing. Yeah, really exciting. There was quite a lot of time last year where we were really pinching. We've basically had 3 years now since we sold to ukulele of just hemorrhaging money, but it's getting better all the time, and I do genuinely think we are now, and only just in time, but we are only a few months away now from possibly the first month where we will earn more money than we will spend. We'll have to spend that month on anchor, not in a marina, and not using the engine like diesel. But it's coming. I can feel it. It's getting closer. We're going to get to the point where we are actually reversing the trend, which is amazing. And this space here is all important for that. So I've got so many other jobs I'm supposed to have done this winter, but Portimao's lovely. Been out surfing, enjoying the beach, making friends, just relaxing and living life with kids. And I've spent so much time in here working, but it means this adventure can continue. We only had a year, you know, in terms of budget. We were like, right, we get to the end of the year, we've got to go home unless we can sort it. So this winter stay in the Algarve in Portimao was a bit of a right, is that going to be the end of the journey and then we head back, or we're going to go off, get into the Med, etc, and enjoy this. And it looks like looking really positive. Last few weeks, Esperance has reached new levels of filthy. We have our little dustbuster, the motor's packed out, gone, and then even more recently, this valuable asset, which has sucked up gallons and gallons of fiberglass dust and all sorts of nonsense over the last few years in building, and is also our reserve to clean up the house when that one won't do that, has also died. So just before we lob this in the bin, I'm going to take it apart and see if there's any salvaging to be done. Sound good?
We put Darcy to work.
Took it apart when we don't know how this works. Put it back together. Look at this. Darcy, you fixed it.
Well done, you fixed it. Just go, yeah. I know.
Just go, yeah. Just go, yeah, I'm great at fixing things, me.
Yeah, I'm good at fixing things.
We've got a broken, squishy fender step. It's no use anymore. The air escaping. Anyway, giving up on the idea of making one out of wood, I'm just going to try a quick fix solution. I'm going to fill the whole thing up with expanding foam. I may have done too much. This stuff expands to like 50 times its volume, and that's 750 millilitres, which would be like a lot. 7 litres times 5, yeah, 35 litres. Well, the thing is, I've taken it off the boat because when it was getting stepped on, it was all getting squashed flat. But it's actually almost back in its original shape now. So, let's leave that a couple of hours, see if that fills itself up. You might even just seal it, and I might even have to pump it up again. Who knows? But basically, it's a huge bit of petroleum that's been turned into rubber that's going to go straight on a rubbish dump, unless we can salvage it. And it costs €105 for a new one. Plus postage and packaging, probably tax and everything. Sod it. See if it works. So the problem with working on a boat, especially Esperance, is there's nothing straight, everything's wonky, and everything takes forever. But anyway, it's been a few hours work, and I've at least completely levelled the seating area. There's a couple of storage areas underneath, and then that's the bench for working on. So I've got to work out what I'm going to do with the back, and then the front section, and pretty much everything. But as scrappy as it looks with a coat of paint, it won't look scrappy.
We've been invited to a party. All we know is that they said bring an instrument and some food to share. We don't know who these people are, we don't know where we're going.
P squared, okay.
So that's part of the adventure, right? The party was fantastic. Lots of music, lovely food, lovely people. But this is the only footage that I will show, as I didn't really want to spoil the atmosphere by going around and asking everyone if they wanted to be in a YouTube video.
Kelly's super excited because she's found out she now looks bohemian as I do. What happened, Kel?
So, like, since we've got into Portugal, Hugh's been asked about 15 times if he wants to buy drugs. And I'm always like, hang on a minute, why aren't I being asked? And today was the first time, and obviously, don't get us wrong, we're not going to buy drugs, that's not our scene at all. But it's nice to be asked, isn't it? It's nice to be asked.
Feel missed out.
I know.
So very like sexist drug dealers on the streets.
But do you know what I was wearing? This is what I was wearing.
Ah.
So I was wearing
and
this.
And he's smoking in his jumper.
Yeah, exactly. And so he offered me some really good Moroccan smoke. I said, oh, no, thank you very much. He goes, oh, I've got some good Charlie as well. I said, oh, no, thank you very much. But that's what I say. We're not interested in. That's not our scene. But it's nice to be asked. So I feel, yes, I was asked today.
Everyone wants to be asked. Whatever it is.
It's a British thing. It's a very British thing. I felt very left out.
I didn't want any, but I didn't want to be ignored. I wanted to be offered it. Oh, dear.
Good morning.
That's not what you were just doing. Sorry.
No. I don't know what was
You were just sitting there going, I've got to go shopping. Do I need to get granola? Anyway, look how tidy this is. I was, like, we got up this morning, the whole sofa was clear, it was amazing.
I'm taking that bag out with me.
Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm pretty excited. I've just got a text message and my brother is sat on a plane in Stansted Airport. I think Stansted. Sat on a plane. Yeah, that's right, I said that right. He's on his way, which is super exciting. So this is really cool. My little brother, I basically spent my childhood a bit like these guys. We weren't home ed, but for a good dozen years or so, he was basically my closest mate. And he's less than 2 years younger than me. And yeah, we did loads of stuff together. And I'm just super excited he's coming out and we're going to spend the week in the water, surfing and playing. So Ben's giving me a lift in his super cool surfer van to go and pick up my baby brother. I'm very excited. Call him my baby brother. He's just like a little bit younger than me. Hey, I can see my brother. There he is. Hello, mate.
Oh, good day.
Nice to see you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been crying. This is Ben.
Sven, love to meet you, mate.
It's our new best friend.
Yeah.
Hugh had to go back to work, so Phil and I made the most of the surf.
Who's here in their natural habitat, practicing the warm-up. They just need to add some water and they'll be away.
I didn't say I was any good. Then Phil put in some good uncle time.
That seems like a bad idea all around. Jumping into the sun just seems like a bad idea. So if I at the top over here somewhere did like,
Tilly's got something new and cool. It's for sharing for her brother and sister and her dad. What is it, Tills?
Dad's not using it.
Dad is using it, look. What is it? A kid-sized surfboard. A little 6-foot board for little people. Tilly's just
I'm
like
a little person.
a little person.
That's a big person. So
I'm super excited.
Uncle Phil's a really big person.
Uncle Phil's a big person, so he's going to use one of the big boards. So this week with Phil here, we are a 3-board family. Oh, look at all the stuff. Nice brand new leash.
Nice.
All this. Like, this is the world we live in. It's incredible. So I got offered a second-hand board this size for €70, and it didn't have a leash, and everything was broken and horrible. I got a brand new shiny one for 150. Why would you do anything else? Look at that.
This is broken.
Nice soft fins, so the kids can bash each other. It doesn't really matter. Look at that. Look at the bends. Yeah.
Mash up.
Bendy fins. Oh, I'm super excited about this.
Friends up with the surfboard.
I just like the building.
Oh, gorgeous sunshine. Summer life in February. What are you doing in February in the UK? Not this. Sorry if I rubbed it in. What are you doing? What are you putting on?
It's cool.
You're attaching, what are you attaching?
The fins.
The fins. Eric, can you explain what we're up to now?
So, there's this riddle we've been trying to solve for like 2 months. It's like, because there's a bunch of riddles on TED Talk, and we literally start with the hardest one. It's like called the 3 Gods riddle. We've been trying it for like 2 months, and I think I finally got the answer. So and our Uncle Phil's here who knows the answer. So to test if I got it correct, we've got our 3 goddesses here.
Hello.
3 goddesses.
And
these 3 wonderful
artifacts.
And the 3...
And 3 artifacts. So we have 3 alien artifacts. Very alien they are, as you can see.
Okay, a phone, a hat, and a book.
Yeah.
And we're just going to act it out.
You and your team have crash landed on an ancient planet. The only way off is to appease the 3 alien overlords, T, F, and R, by giving them the correct artifacts. Unfortunately, you don't know who is who. From an inscription, you learn that you may ask 3 yes or no questions, each addressed to any one of the lords. T's answers will always be true, F's will always be false, and R's answers will always be random each time. But there's a problem. You've deciphered enough of the language to ask any question, but you don't know which of the 2 words, ozo or ulu, means yes and which means no. How can you still figure out which alien is which? Eric is going to reveal what he thinks is the answer. This bit contains spoilers, so if you don't want to know, then skip ahead.
Darcy, if I asked you, is that God, or would you say Ulu? I think she'll mess up the logic.
She won't.
It's alright.
But you've got to know about double negatives and stuff.
She's told you the answer.
Ulu. Okay. Ulu. So now I know you over there. If I ask you, is that
My name is Goddess 3.
So Goddess 3. If I ask you, is that
Goddess
God over there? Is God F1? Is Goddess 1? If I ask you, is Goddess 1R? Would you say Ulu?
Ulu.
Ulu. Okay. So I know. Finally, if I ask you, is that Goddess? No, it's Goddess 2. Yeah. If I ask you, is Goddess 2? Actually, no. If I ask you, RUT, would you say Ulu?
Ulu.
Okay, I know the answer. So I give this one to you, this one to you, and this one to you.
I didn't know!
Yes! Now I'm gonna fly away with fish.
I'm not.
So to this long lost
So that
puzzle.
was absolutely incredible. Eric spent about 6 weeks solving that. Apparently the world's
Yeah,
hardest
that's
puzzle.
it. He did it.
He's done it.
Yeah.
The world's hardest logic puzzle.
Yahoo!
Completely unassisted. We're going to show you. We'll get Kelly to stick below all the reel of notes, the reams of notes and paper and things we've gone through trying to solve this.
That was all in him. That was all him.
I know it was all him in the end. Yeah. I definitely worked with him for a long time, but I gave up.
Done. The key is to carefully formulate our questions so that any answer yields useful information.
Do you know what that shows you though? That shows that the hard work and determination and just keeping working at something is really cool. And do you know Einstein once said that he didn't think that he was any more clever than anyone else. He said that he sat with problems longer. And that's exactly, I'm not saying that you're Einstein, I'm just saying that you sat with the problem for long enough that you actually worked it out. And that's really cool, and especially in today's society.
It was actually
We also played a lot of music while Phil was here.
1, 2, there.
The weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the time is done, we'll take our leave and go.
There was a decorated channel with a heart of gold. The people liked him, all the stories he told. Of past battles won and lost, the legends of old. A seasoned veteran in his own time. But on the battlefield he gained respect and fame. With many medals of rivalry and stripes to his name. He proved it as soon as he could, took out the scars on his face. And always urged his men on. Driving up and down these streets, trying to find somewhere to go. And I'm looking for a familiar face that there's no.
Here's how I make my delicious cheese pickle sandwiches. So, to start off you need some bread. Now I tend to use homemade bread made using the bread maker. It tastes delicious with these ingredients. Look at it right there. Now we've got the bread, we need to take some of this cheese. I like, my favourite cheese is Cathedral City grated cheddar, but you can use anything. Actually no, you can't. If you want to have it perfect, you need Cathedral City cheddar. It's got to be grated.
You can use other cheddar.
Now,
This is Irish cheddar though.
oh yeah, this is Irish cheddar because we haven't got Cathedral City.
But you can use any
Now,
cheddar.
you sprinkle some of the cheese along the base of the bread so that there's a thin layer of cheese covering out the bread. Now we're going to get a spoon and add the main ingredients. Pickle. So, I like to get that. So what I do is I get 1 tablespoon, I unscrew the pickle, I'm on February now, take a nice big spoonful and dollop it on this side. Flump. Then I put 1 piece on top of the other.
Oh well.
Voila. Simple and tastes delicious.
And remember to put the lid back on.
Oh yeah.
That. Light on the cheese, as Eric likes. Light on the cheese. Phil did some good uncling by buying the kids a toy each, and then he took us all out to breakfast to celebrate the fact that he got a new job. He interviewed in Hugh's office and then he found out the same day that he'd got the job.
Good night, goodbye. Bye.
And all too soon, it was time to say goodbye.
That was nice, wasn't it, having Uncle Phil stay?
Yeah. Phil is now my favourite uncle. Now we've got to, I don't want to get on traffic again, so we've got to wait for Granny Grandpa.
It's all good.
They aren't uncles.
Disaster.
Disaster. Hugh's favourite rock squash supplies is almost...
Dwindling.
Yeah, it's dwindling fast. He messaged Rock Squash, he said they don't deliver over here.
Continent.
So he's taking matters into his own hand and trying his hand at squash making. What if this is the future?
Yeah, well, it's basically just sugar and oranges and like they in their recipe they've got citric acid, the only other thing, which we're going to replace with lemons. So yeah, let's find out. Oh, yeah, just loads of cane sugar and oranges. I'm very excited. Quite tired because we had a very stormy night last night and didn't sleep very well. But this is a good activity to do. So yeah, try this in an hour or so's time. Follow on. We need 1 litre of juice, which is 11 oranges. We're just at 900 and something at the minute, so I think 11 oranges is going to be spot on.
The colour was wrong, but it smelt really good.
So in the one corner, we have Rock's organic orange squash, and then our orange squash, which has ended up being very
Brown.
brown because the cane sugar is
It's
very brown.
poopy. It tastes like squash, but it doesn't taste. It tastes a lot like rock squash, but it doesn't taste exactly like it.
Let's try it.
Ready?
You see all the real bits of orange
Now we
floating
need
in
to
there.
try this one.
I think it's nice. It's really good.
That's
Now we
good.
need to try this one.
It's come out really well. It's definitely different.
Different.
It's much more in the nose. It's higher in the palate.
Daddy.